Hey everybody, welcome back to the Voting Kitchen. I'm Chef Ted, and today on the menu we have a couple classics, plurality voting and ranked choice voting. Now to explain these voting methods a bit better to you, I'm going to use these voting kitchen tubes. Each one represents a different candidate, and our input into the system is represented by this little red ball. So when I first come into a plurality election, the election method says, hey, who do you want to vote for? So I go, hey, I want to vote for E. The election method says, thank you very much, there's the door. I go, wait a minute, what about all the other candidates? What about B, C, D? It's like, nah, you get one. Okay, and that's it. Plurality voting, it's a min voting method because there's a minimum amount of input. Now let's compare that with ranked choice voting. So I come to the election with ranked choice voting, and the election method goes, hey, which candidate do you want to have win? So I say, hey, I want candidate E. And it says, all right, thank you very much. And that's it. But you're thinking, whoa, wait, this is ranked choice voting. I get to supply a complete ranking of all the different candidates. Well, no, you don't. What you get to supply is a list of alternatives if your candidate is eliminated. So in a ranked choice voting election, if one of the candidates gets less than 50% or no candidate gets over 50% of the vote, the candidate with the fewest number of votes is eliminated and a runoff election occurs. I looked at 251 ranked choice voting elections from San Francisco, Oakland, San Leandro, Berkley, and Minnesota. And out of those 251 elections, only 88 actually eliminated any candidates. The rest of them ended after the first round. So that's it. You got one input and you're done. And so we're going to go ahead and say E got eliminated. So E was eliminated, but luckily we had written down on our voting ballot that if E gets eliminated, we want to vote for B. Again, you only get to choose one. So now we voted for B, no one gets 51% of the vote, and D gets eliminated. Hey, not a problem for us because we're rooting for B. But nobody got 50% of the vote, and B's been eliminated this time. Okay, not a problem. We still have another one. We still have more candidates written down on our ballot, one of which is D, but D's already gone. Okay, well then the next one that's available to us is A, that's on our card. Okay, well, no one got 51% and A's been eliminated. So wait a minute, now we're just down to two candidates. It's a two-candidate race. Hopefully, we actually had on our ballot either F or C, because if we didn't, we're not going to be voting in this race. Now you think, well, what are the odds of it actually coming all the way down to two candidates? Well, out of those 88 that eliminated candidates, 84 of them came down to just two candidates. So 95% of the time, there's only going to be two candidates left. Now let's compare this very quickly to max voting. So we're going to put all of our candidates back. And when we walk into a max voting election, the max voting election asks us a question, but it's a different one. Who do you want to win? Oh, I want E to win. Okay, yeah, but how much do you want E to win? It's like, well, what do you mean? Well, on a scale of 0 to 9, how much do you want E to win? Well, I want it to win the most, so I would give it a 9. Oh, great. Okay, so let's say you give E a 9. That's fantastic. But you know, that's not that much information. What about F? What do you think about F winning? Well, I don't really like F, so I wouldn't give it any points. Yeah, but what about D? D's not that much better than F, so I would give it maybe 2. So, okay, great, but what do you think about C? C, well, I like it better than D, but not as much as F, so I guess I would give it, or not as much as E, so I would give it, yeah, maybe 4. Well, what about B? Oh, I like B. B's pretty good. So I'm going to give B, we're going to give B more than C, but still less than E. And then what about A? A's okay. I'm going to give A 2. And you know what? I actually like D a little bit more than A. So I'm going to get D a bit more. Look at all that information that's going into a max voting election, because all of this is used to determine the winner. This is used all the time from the get-go. And that's why max voting is called max voting, because it has the maximum amount of information going into the voting method that's used to determine the winner. And because of that, we select the majority opinion winner. I hope you enjoyed your meal today at the Voting Kitchen. If you ever want to get the full course, go to maxvoting.org. But if you're hungry for a little snack, come on back to the Max Voting Kitchen. Take care.